Hello, this is the One Episode Rule podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie. I didn't almost fuck up the intro because I feel bad. That
Oh,
didn't
yeah?
happen. There was everything's normal.
You feel bad about kicking me?
No, I feel bad because my back hurts. But
Oh, maybe that's
um,
karma. Maybe that's karma getting you.
and I think I might have gas. Anyway,
Oh,
but yeah, back here, back at it again at the Krispy Kreme. I watched an episode of an anime.
whoa, what'd you
So you
watch?
can't. I watched it. I fulfilled my obligations. You can't hit me with the pain sticks this time.
Oh, maybe next time.
I'm
What'd you
just.
watch, though?
I'm almost finished. Dan.
Oh, nice.
Good
Very
show.
good. Very good.
Good times. Um.
Making it through slowly but surely.
hmm
Um,
I like that they had a nice ending for the hermit crab man.
yes,
He's
this is
just
true.
he he's just trying to protect his family.
He's just trying to help his boy.
Um.
Uh,
So yeah,
yeah, very
what you been
nice.
up to?
Hello. Hi, I'm Joey. For one thing, welcome to our podcast. I have been watching anime this week.
You've been
Um,
seeing it.
and when I say what I was watching, something that I said just a little bit ago, or maybe how it seemed, will make sense. Because I did watch a full season of Dr. Stone.
Jesus, a whole last season
I
of it.
did listen, I was 2 seasons behind, and now I'm only 1 season behind. For now.
Where are they now? Have they gotten to the
I
Industrial Revolution, or are they still in the Enlightenment?
oh yeah, they're about to go to America, and that's Science Future Season 1, which I have not seen yet.
We're doing
That's
Age
the
of
one.
Sail shit. I see.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm still behind for a season again for now.
Hope they don't get frozen like the
Let's
other show we watch.
let's hope that they don't come out with Science Future Season 2 too soon. Huh?
Not like I saw part 2 of season 2 gonna come out in July.
Yeah.
Do you want some
It's
news?
July. Yeah, let's have some news.
Studio Ghibli proving AI wrong again as Princess Mononoke breaks records in a theatrical return. Uh, you guys know this story. They they put that back in theaters for a while, and also odious trend flooding social media.
Yeah.
Hey, if you have used an AI image generator to create a Studio Ghibli-esque image, fuck you, die. Don't listen to us. I don't want your listenership.
Yep.
um,
Why don't you go do something valuable with your
I
life?
feel strongly that this is an insult to life
This
itself.
is an insult to life itself. He is correct.
Moving on. Pikachu has become a breakout star of the protests against Turkish President Erdogan.
Oh,
Um,
I
in that a
Pik-
man in a life-size Pikachu suit, well, I assume a man, has been attending these protests.
oh,
Uh,
wow.
has been seen running from the cops with their water cannons, and is becoming something of a symbol of resistance against the
Let's
government.
fucking go.
Let's fucking go,
Cops, if you're
Pika
quick.
P. Uh, hey, they put out more Devil May Cry trailer shit.
Yes.
They're gonna Evanescence is in there.
Evanescence. It's a
Evanescence.
Evanescence. I have seen a copy of the front of a CD cover that says Season 1 music. If you would like me to read that
Okay, hit
list
it.
for you, we have Afterlife, Evanescence. We
Mhm.
got Rollin', Limp
Yeah, Limp
Bizkits.
Bizkit,
We got
spin your ass raw like a chainsaw. Yeah.
Guerrilla Radio by Rage Against the Machine.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Last Resort Power Glove remix, obviously
I
Papa
feel like
Roach.
Gorilla Radio is too good to be on the soundtrack.
We've got Ghost, Gunship. We've got
Hmm.
Bury the Light, Power Glove
Hmm.
version, Casey Edwards.
Yeah.
We've got Something Scratched Out by Green Day. Butterfly by Crazy Town. And we have, of course, Devil Trigger, Power Glove version.
Incredible butt rock soundtrack.
It's very,
The
very
energy is
good.
the white monster can energy is off the charts.
That's coming out in 2 days. Two
Anime
days from now.
anime for 30-year-old boomers.
I'm more hype than I've been in so fucking long. You have no idea. I'm so excited. This is a show for me.
I'm so proud. This has been like a 5-year project on my
Yes. You have directed me and I snatched it up like candy. Like candy.
I've turned you into a
I'm
DMT freak.
thriving.
Um so while we're thriving, do we I'm gonna hit you with some news because I couldn't figure out what to pick, so I'm taking a bullet out of the gun.
Oh, all
I'm
right.
taking a bullet out of the gun and I am setting it on the table in front of us and I am hitting it with a claw hammer
Okay, we're just getting point blank. Okay,
because
is this
it has been in there for I think years at this point.
all right? And it
So
just
we are
hasn't.
going to watch we're going to watch Netflix's new version of Bastard! Exclamation
Whoa,
point.
whoa.
And
All right.
I will explain some things about it after the break.
Okay.
You know, I'm almost disappointed it isn't worse.
Hey, don't worry. There's a full 12 to 13 episodes
There's
for
like
it to get
36.
worse. Oh.
They did a
Oh,
season
okay.
2.
Oh, they
But
did a season 2. Oh, yeah. Okay, then there's plenty of time. Don't be disappointed.
plenty of time. So so yeah, before I have you hit the blurb, I want you all to imagine. I want you all to imagine that it's 25 years ago in a grubby little Blockbuster video in Texas. And a young man has just put Berserk back. And he is in
Uh-oh.
the aisle and he is scared because he has picked up improperly like packaged pornography in this aisle before. But he reaches for something that looks like Berserk to
Wow.
I got Berserk, I got Record of Lodoss War, and I got the Bastard OVA from that blockbuster.
Whoa.
And it made an
Whoa.
impression on me, and I did research about this.
Oh, wow.
But first, can you hit this long ass blurb for me?
Yes, I will read the blurb. Ahem. 15 years ago, Dark Schneider, a rich.
I
He's
have an explanation.
a ruthless magician of immeasurable power, sought to conquer the world with an army led by his generals, the four divine kings. However, he was defeated and sealed in the body of a newborn boy. In the present day, the disbanded party of Dark Schneider has reformed with a macabre goal to resur- to resur- ah, to resurrect Anthracox, the god of destruction that nearly annihilated the world 4 centuries ago, and establish a war-free society. To do so, the four divine kings must break 4 seals, located in 4 different kingdoms. Targeted for its seal, the kingdom of Metallicana struggles to repel the army commanded by the four divine kings. With hope dwindling, all eyes turn to the daughter of Metallicana's grand priest, Yoko Tianoto. Not only is she aware that her adopted younger brother, Lucian Renlen, is Dark Schneider's prison of flesh, but she also knows the ritual to break the seal. Left with no other choice, Yoko successfully releases Dark Schneider, whose twisted personality has not changed over the years. As the fate of the world depends on where his allegiance lies, Yoko seems to be the only person who has some control over the powerful magician. But convincing Dark Schneider to turn against his old allies and protect those Yoko holds dear may prove to be an impossible feat. Make time for Flesh
Make
Prison.
time for Dark Schneider.
Make
Okay, so he's almost certainly named after Dee Schneider from
uh,
Twisted Sister. Twisted Sister, is that right? Dee Schneider.
oh.
It's all heavy metal.
Oh, that's Anthrax also. And
You want that
obviously Metallicana.
that fucking OVA that I got that was made in the 80s and then
Oh
shipped
boy.
across the ocean 10 years later.
Whoa.
The whole score was Anthrax.
Whoa. Let's this I
So so it's funny. The Netflix version of this is smoother. It's definitely not nearly as scuffed. It's nowhere near as like kind of nasty.
well
But it's
again,
missing
yet.
something.
Yet.
It's missing the grime. Um so basically what you had is like you remember Slayers, right?
Yeah.
Slayers was pretty early, like anime getting into fantasy shit.
Mhm.
This is the other side of the Slayers coin. This is
This is Slayers but
1988.
nastier, huh?
Nasty boy Slayers.
Nasty boy
With
Slayers.
Dark Schneider. What if the powerful hero was just a huge asshole? Um,
Uh this also I mean maybe we'll talk about it when we get through the rundown, but he does look he has a little bit of Inuyasha vibes.
oh, thanks for spoiling the joke because I was going to spend the entire time referring to him as Danger in Inuyasha.
Danger Inuyasha, I love it. Okay,
Um,
sorry. Sorry.
do you want to see two images of pre-Netflix Dark Schneider
Abso-fucking-lutely I
to get the
do.
vibe right? Okay, this is from the manga. This is from the 80s. This is volume
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And we can get the OVA, which is
Uh-huh.
even even
Yes.
more.
Okay, here's
But I
you
think this is like
complained
1991.
yeah. You complained about it not being nasty enough. I need you to know that when I went to the website to watch this, the first thing I noticed was was the etchy tag that is attached to this. So like
Well, maybe they'll get there, but like
maybe I feel like they're gonna get
I
there.
remember fucking part two on the OVA just being like, and now it's time to throw Yoko into a pit with clothing dissolving slime.
Oh no, not the
Like
clothing dissolving.
it's real slop, it's real
Oh
schlock.
yeah. Oh
But
boy.
there's something nostalgic about it to me.
Sure. Did
Um,
this get your nostalgia button at all? This one?
no, only a little.
Only a
Um,
little, in that
I
you
don't think
recognized the characters, I
I,
suppose.
I don't think his shoulder pads are wide enough. He's supposed to look ridiculous.
Yeah.
So, and I also watched a dubbed version of the original because it was the only thing that was on
Oh
the tape,
yeah. All
and it
right,
was
let's
scuffed
go.
as fuck.
All right, let's go.
We have got to hit it sometime. But yeah, I had a merry old time after I finished this, looking through the manga's like cover art, and yeah, he's got swords. He's biting angel wings off. He's he's grabbing dark elf asses. Yeah,
Oh yeah, let's go.
like
Dark
it's real cheesecake shit. There's this one where he's got a sword, but it's also got a huge snake wrapped around it for no reason.
All right. All
Danger,
right. Danger.
danger, you go, Danger
You
Inuyasha.
go, Danger Inuyasha. Or maybe
Okay,
don't. I don't. I
so
don't know
so
about.
a quick rundown, a very quick, because to tell you the truth, not much fucking happens in this
Not
episode.
much fucking happens in this episode. We the summary kind of covered it and then some.
The beginning is worth noting because the beginning
Yes.
has to do with the cosmology, and there is some real fucking imagery here, which is very true to the manga and the
Hmm.
author's work. The author, let's hit that author's name. What's his name? Uh, Kazushi Hagiwara, huge fucking like heavy metal and Dungeons and Dragons nerd. Uh,
Absolute nerdery.
published this shit from 1987 on and off to 2010.
Whoa. That's a long time.
Yeah, but not consistently.
I mean, sure.
um, but yeah, this is the dark half of the sword and sorcery shit that got popular in Japan because of the game Wizardry
Yes. Yes,
and
yes.
not Dungeons and Dragons, which is so weird. I could do an entire like TED talk about it. But but yeah, so it opens on modern day Earth, and
Hmm.
the narrator very succinctly explains that uh, humanity had reached its pinnacle, but there was a rot through it, like a moldering piece of fruit. Uh, and that darkness eventually just came to life and passed judgment on man.
I feel like that's going to happen to our planet very soon,
Yeah,
actually.
in the form of a gigantic, like really like fucking like H.R. Geiger monstrosity.
It's
Um,
really hard to look at. Bad to
uh,
see.
it's the human parts Giger, not the xenomorph parts Giger. So
Yeah.
it's human faces and like machine shit, and you know, like cold, dark, hard flesh covered in wet.
Yeah. Probably
uh,
some tentacles on there.
it is a kaiju, and
Yeah.
it has come to pass judgment on the earth. It is very much a fucking Black Sabbath War Pigs moment.
Yeah.
Because yeah, what's humanity to do but like fucking throw tanks and jets and shit at it? But no, it's not
Doesn't
enough.
work. It does
Um,
nothing.
uh, and as a stated villain goal, some part of you has to agree because all it says is, "When you are gone, the Earth will enjoy a serene rest." um, but it is interrupted by a creature from the heavens. The description on this gets a little ridiculous because it talks about it had the form of a man with a sword and wings and a dragon's head, and it was beautiful.
This is just a large dragon. It's
This
just
is
a
a
big
this
dragon.
is a Digimon,
That's true, actually.
um, and it is they both realize that they are destined to fight, so they
Mhm.
fight. I am assuming that the dragon is what is left of humanity's light.
Yeah.
Uh, it eventually triumphs over the dark god Anthrax,
They
but
sink a lot of continents.
only after like two or three continents have sunk and like millions of people are dead.
What do you think? What do you think the odds are that we here in America made it? You think they're the first? You think we're the first continent that sunk?
I'm
North
almost certain that
America?
I'm almost certain the bastard takes place on North America.
Oh,
Uh, because it didn't get into it in this. One of the cool things from the OVA was it was always showing scenes of like medieval horsemen and sorcerers fighting and shit,
okay. All
but
right.
in the background were like ruined skyscrapers.
Interesting. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, very very cool shit. But we don't get that this time. What we get is we get a real nasty dickhead sorcerer leading an army against the kingdom of Metallicana.
This is a nothing burger of a villain. He
Kind of like him.
exists to get
He's
melted.
real. I kind of like him. He's real nasty.
He's nasty.
He's
He
Lord
exists to
Osborne,
get melted.
and his plan to knock over the kingdom is remarkably simple. Wait till all of the knights and the high priest are out, and then roll up on this bitch at the head of an army of ogres, and just make lightning randomly strike everywhere.
Yes, and have the ogres just step on anyone who comes in their path. There was a lot of feet-based violence.
Boom! Like blast the doors open with lightning bolts. Send in your goons. Real classic sword and sorcery villain
Yes,
shit.
yes, yes, yes. Listen, you
This
can't listen. It was a tried and true method. You can't go wrong.
this is the guy who you're supposed to kick his teeth in at the beginning of your D&D campaign, at like level
Yes.
5 or 6,
Sure.
in the first arc.
Exactly.
Um, but yeah, he puts on a pretty good showing of it, and yeah, the token force left to guard the kingdom is not doing well. They are getting their asses handed to them. It's surprisingly gory, but it tends not to linger on the gore. It's very
No,
fast
not
gore.
really. It's
Uh,
more like, oops, these guys got turned into
yeah,
paste. Look at this pool of blood.
dudes get pasted against the wall for one frame, and then we're moving on.
Yeah, pretty
Uh,
much.
uh, our guy Lord Osborne is a fun villain design. He is wearing like a fucking hooded cloak with a metal headband covered in spikes, and he is
Yeah.
just wielding like a spiked club. No sword,
Yeah.
no staff, nothing.
The spiked club was very funny.
He's basically wearing rags. um, and he is riding a horse, and he's just like, kill them, fucking kill them all.
Yeah.
In the inner sanctum, in the keep, we have a number of noblemen, a number of guards, one huge dude who exists to bully children. Um,
Yes.
a very breastful, very cheesecake princess.
Yes.
Um,
She's boobling
she is
breastily.
wearing a kind of old school fantasy slip dress that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Because even isekai writers tend to be a little more conservative with their imagery because they're cowards. Um, um,
Wow. Coming right out with it, huh? I mean, at
there
least this show knows what it is.
there is something to respect about Bastard because it knows exactly what the fuck it is.
It's
It's not
not
pretending to be
pretending.
anything else.
That's,
It is
that's completely fair.
This is a show about swords and killing people with lightning bolts and asses.
Asses and titties. We know what you're here for, you fucking bastard.
um, Princess Sheila? I think her name is just Sheila. She has a number of
Yeah.
surnames, but and then we have Yoko Tia. What's her? Noko?
I
Yoko Tia Noko?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Something of that.
Yoko Tia
Noto.
Noto.
Um,
We just call her Yoko, I
and
think.
young Lucian. Now, from this is interesting. From what we know of the history, Lucian has to be 15.
What I was thinking,
He seems like an
cause like
actual child.
he looks like how an anime character would be drawn if they were like 8 to 10.
Yeah, they're like 10. But no, he has to be 15.
He has to be a 15-year-old, but he looks 10.
Um,
He is also significantly smaller than her,
yeah,
like the little guardian girl.
he is quite smaller than Yoko. Yoko is basically soft Lena inverse. She is a redheaded like priestess girl.
Yeah, that
Uh,
makes sense.
she's cute,
She's
but
fine.
but yeah, they're sitting there and they're just like they're gonna make it in here any fucking second.
Yeah.
And like Lucian is scared and he pisses off a giant man. Uh,
He's doing a little like cowardly baby thing. That's
yeah,
also why he comes across as a 10-year-old because he's like,
he's a
oh, I'm
cowardly baby boy.
scared.
He's scared of the orcs. He doesn't want to be devoured.
I mean, understandable.
God forbid. but yeah, she's just like, why are you such a little baby boy? Because she's also basic. She's a teenager, so she doesn't.
My thing is like she's supposed to be his guardian, but like, is she also supposed to be 15? Is she supposed to be like 17 to 18? It's
She's a
unclear.
teenager. She's teenager coded for sure. But yeah, they're sitting in there. It's just like there's nothing we can do. There's really nothing we can do. And she remembers back to her father, the high priest. He's just like, I have to teach you a spell you'll never use. And she's just like, what? It's just like, I long ago I sealed the soul of the ancient wizard Dark Schneider into Lucian. I
uh,
sealed him away. And this is the spell to release that seal. you will never have to use it unless the kingdom is at the very brink, and then you can release him to destroy our enemies. It's just like, and then one last thing. To release him, it requires the kiss of an untainted virgin. So you can never take a husband.
Yeah.
And she's just like, hey, what?
She's like, what? Hey, what?
And yeah, after Lucian escapes again and annoys the big man again, trying to get away, um, Princess Sheila notices and walks up to them and is just like, you know a spell that can release a power to save us, don't you?
You have
Like
to unleash it.
you were taught that you have to unleash it. And all the old men come around. It's just like, yes, you got to do it. Do it now.
She's like, what? It's embarrassing.
She's
They're
just
like,
like,
what?
I can't
What do you
possibly
mean?
do that spell. It's embarrassing. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
They obviously do not know the
They
details.
do not know the detail. And right about that time, Lord Osborne blasts the fucking doors open and gets his only speaking lines of the episode. Basically, he will not speak outside of this room or ever again. Um,
Yeah.
so So Lord Osborne is just like, yeah, fucking sick. Princess is there. Let's kill this bitch. Let's get this over with. And a bunch of guys rush over and they're like, Lord Osborne, you'll spare us, right? We gave you the information you needed. And this betrayal is allowed to sit for only like 30 seconds while the other noblemen curse them because he's just like, oh yeah, I need to give you your payback. And he just has a giant step on them.
Mm-hmm. Yes, like I said, foot-based violence.
He brought two giant ogres. Uh, And yeah, this is all pretty fucking bad because he's just like, all right, enough, kill them all.
Mm-hmm.
And the guards engage them, and the ogres are fucking people up. And in the course of this, Yoko and Lucian are separated. They're separated like the falling hammer of one of the ogres. It just like blasts the floor open
Yeah.
and flings them both in different directions. And she's just like, oh God, because he's like bleeding. The kid's bleeding. And
Yeah,
she
it
has him
looks
up
pretty
against
dire.
a pillar. And as she looks around, she's just like, well, fuck, I guess this is it. I guess I got to do the spell. So yeah, she does her spell and gives him a tender kiss, which embarrasses the shit out of her. And then evil stank magic comes out of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Everyone in the room starts commenting, oh, what is this scary, evil energy?
yeah, I like Lord Osborne is just like, what the fuck is that?
He gets scared. He
He's just
doesn't
like,
like it.
what is that evil energy? Because from Lord Osborne's perspective, this should have been a cakewalk. Like clearly the inheritor to the Dark Lord, just
Mm-hmm.
show up, kill everybody, take over. You
Yep.
know,
Call it a
the
day.
Dark Rebel Army, I believe he says he's
Yeah.
leading. And Lucian turns into Dark Snyder with like a huge blast of Goku energy.
Yes. He gets about a foot and a half taller, I swear to God.
He is fully like 6'8".
Yeah,
Um,
he's very tall now. He goes
um,
from this tiny little, like,
he has an
dark-haired.
8-pack. That's the way he's drawn. He
When
is
we say danger Inuyasha, he
he
does
is
have the long white hair and
he
pointy
has
teeth.
he's got the pointy teeth. He's got
Hmm.
the fucking mullet. um, and yeah, he appears from nowhere. Uh, and he says, "Where's that fucking priest? I'm gonna turn him inside out." Basically,
That stinker trapped me in a fucking
put me in a child.
put me in a
Uh,
child.
uh, and Yoko is just like, Lucian, is that you? And he's just like, yeah, well, kinda.
We remember being called Lucian.
It's just like, yeah, I'm Dark Snyder. I'm also your childhood friend Lucian. Get used to it. This is how it is. um, sh- Princess Sheila immediately is just like, not even her. One of the noblemen is just like, great, hurry up and kill these guys. And he turns around and he goes, no,
I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
You
I don't
think
give a
I'm gonna
fuck
help
about
the
any of
people
you
that
people.
trapped me?
The only the only one I'm going to spare is Yoko because we grew up together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill the rest of you. And Kyoko takes this time to say, you really aren't Lucy, and you're just a piece of shit, aren't you? You're just a cowardly little fuck boy.
Bad
and,
boy. Bad.
and it hurts him because he's got a little boy inside of him. Um,
Uh-huh.
and she browbeats him into defending them.
Yes, we're doing the Inuyasha sit boy moment.
A little bit, which is funny. It would be interesting to figure out like which one came first.
True.
Because this guy and like Rumako Takahashi were working at the same time.
Yes,
Um,
that is true.
but yeah, so he turns on the others and he's just like, all right, and he casts a little spell and he summons up his garments. Um, his garments are relatively plain in this. He's still got the tank top cape thing going on, but they're missing his like giant like really wide shoulder pads that like made his silhouette outrageous.
Uh-huh.
Which I think is a misstep. I think they should have put them.
They should have. If they were all
Commit
going
to the
like
bit.
crazy mode with this show. Yeah, for real, for real.
That's what I want from the show. I want more commitment to the fucking aesthetic. um, but yeah, and like Osborne is in the background, just like this is all a bunch of bullshit. The fuck are you talking? Did he just regenerate his clothes? What a bunch of that man is not my Dark Daddy. That is not Dark Schneider. You are a fucking imposter. Kill his ass, giant. And he sets the giants on him, and Dark Schneider takes a moment to appraise the situation and chant out a spell. This is from the era of Japanese fantasy, in which whenever you cast a spell, you got to say a bunch of nonsense.
You
You got
gotta
to do a
say some
chant.
words. There is going to be like a pentagram themed like magic circle that pops up.
Always fun. Always a good
Yes.
time. You ain't
It's fine.
no cantrips in 80s magic. You got to commit. But he is pretty fast on the draw because before they can crush him, he does incinerate them both with infernos from inside their own hearts.
Yeah.
He just blows them apart.
They don't make it.
I thought he was going to atomize them, but no, he just blew huge chunks out of them until they could no longer live. Osborne is confused about this. So he orders the entire army to attack him pretty much at the same time, which is honestly for bad guy strategy not a bad plan.
Yeah.
At least you're not sending them in there one at a time.
This is true.
This does not work though because he does turn the rest. He basically uses the same spell on the rest of them, and it just turns them into a triangular smear on the ground.
Yeah, this one does essentially vaporize them.
Yeah, they're finished. And he turns on Osborne, and it's just like, looks like you're the only one left. You want to cry? Get a shit about it, basically. And Osborne still does not believe that he is the guy. He still thinks he's an imposter, and he's pissed off about it. So he's just like, all right, fine, I'll put you down with a spell. And he summons up the lightning, which he can do just on command, not necessarily from the sky, although it does strike all over the castle outside, which I'm sure fucked up a bunch of things and probably killed a bunch of horses and shit.
Oh, not the horses!
just destroyed a bunch of wildlife. But yeah, he summons up a pretty impressive ball lightning spell, and directs it at Dark Schneider, who appears to have been vaporized. It burns all of his clothing off and blackens
He turns
him.
into like carbon. He turns into a little carbon statue.
Yeah, you think he's just been burned all the way through, and Osborne takes this pretty well, and he's just like, you were an imposter the whole time. I'll just smash you apart with my mace. And then he lays into him for like a full 30 seconds. The comedic timing on this is really good.
It made me laugh because I literally wrote donk, tink, donk, tink, Donk, tink.
He's
He
just
just does it
slapping the
over and
shit out of
over.
him, and he's just knocking off like fragments at a time, just tiny little fragments, and you slowly realize it's just like, oh, he wasn't burned all the way through. This is armor. He's like petrified himself
Yeah.
because after Osborn gets tired, he just looks up, and Schneider is looking down at him completely unharmed with a bunch of the black stuff just knocked off of him.
Yeah, flaking off.
And he's just like, really, that's all you got? And then he reaches up and there's a tiny little scratch on his face. And he no shit hits him with Kisama.
You dare harm my beautiful face?
You harm my handsome face. And he starts off with his counter spell, which the guy knows and is so scared of that he cannot actually effectively run away. He basically summons the fire of hell from inside this guy.
Hell prison.
And yeah, he slow roasts them into just ashes. There's nothing left of him when it's over.
Yeah. R.I.P.
R.I.P. Osborne, I guess. You were a serviceable mid boss. From the same school of translation that brought you fucking Flea and Slash from Chrono Trigger. Except this was on purpose and not just a fucking
From
localization
the same
thing.
mind that brought you oh, never mind. I don't
didn't have a joke.
I was trying to think of the characters from the first part of JoJo's, and I was like, oh man, what were those fucking guys'
like
names?
Dyer and Strezzo?
Yes, those ones. Yeah, I couldn't remember how they translated it. But yeah.
The microwave ovens. But so yeah, everything seems fine, and Princess Sheila is just like, oh, I should do my royal duty, and she walks over and she's like, I can't thank you enough for saving us in this hour of, oh, he's gone, because he just walked past her, and like the old men are like pissed. They're just like, hey, don't walk away when the princess is speaking to you. And
he's completely booty naked again.
Yeah, he's like, buck ass naked. He had his clothes incinerated. And he walks over to Yoko and says, so what have you got to say to me? And she's just like, arigato. And he's just like, oh, is that all? And she's just like, well, and she turns her face away because she's like embarrassed. And when she turns back, he's just like, where is he? Where'd he fucking go? Because yeah, he's out walking the land.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, where are you going? She's like, well, I got shit to do, right? And she's like, what do you mean you got shit to do? Well, first I'm going to find your dad and turn him inside out.
I am going to kill the shit out of your dad.
I'm going to kill the shit out of your dad. And it cuts away to like a theoretical way he could kill her dad. Yeah. And he's just like, and then I'm going to start an apocalyptic war to conquer the entire Earth. And I'll kill anybody in my way, good or bad.
So, yeah.
And while this is happening, he's getting closer and closer, and she starts to blush, and she's just like, why is my heart racing for this man?
I couldn't possibly be feeling things for a character like this.
And he's almost embraced her when she's just like, you used a spell on me, didn't you? I'm under a spell. And he's just like, I'm not using any magic.
No, I'm just irresistible.
So we know two or three things about Dark Schneider at this point. Dark Schneider loves to turn people into fucking atoms. Will do so for very little provocation.
Yes.
Also, probably loves to fuck.
Probably horny.
Because he is immediately closing in on her. He has sensed one moment of interest, and he's just like, oh yeah?
He's like, I'm going to kiss you about this.
And he goes in for the kiss, and then he backs off immediately because it's like, what the fuck is this? Because magic swirls around him. And he's just like, what have you done to me, you witch? And he turns back into Lucian.
Yep, he has a small 15-year-old, apparently, again.
Yeah. He's a fucking bantam 15-year-old. Draped in Dark Schneider's fucked up 80s sorcerer clothes, and he's just like, hey, Yoko, what is this? It's just like, were there monsters? It's like, yeah, there were some monsters. It's just like,
he doesn't seem to remember any of this.
And she's just like, hey, Lucian, do you like me? And he's just like, yeah, I think so. And that's where, and they're just walking away, and that's how this first episode ends.
Yes.
In the OVA, they stayed in Metallicana and were almost constantly under assault by new freaks,
We
like
got new
every
freaks of
scene,
the week.
including second guy who straight up looks like Guts Berserk.
Wow.
But is like some sort of wind sorcerer, and he's the guy who throws Yoko into the pit full of clothing
Oh
dissolving
no.
slime
No.
for like pervert reasons. He's
For
not.
oh god.
There's no like covering that. Like
He
there's
couldn't
no excuse. He's just like I'm doing this to humiliate you and for my own
Oh.
sexual gratification.
Oh, that's scary. Oh, that's so scary.
And all of this is weird. The plot of these operates like evil Kenshiro. Like this goes on for a while, and then Dark Schneider shows up. Like he gets summoned somehow, and he just turns the guy into his constituent atoms. The only other thing I remember is at one point he comes up against another fire sorcerer
Hmm.
who's got great fire magic, and he's just like, "Wow, this guy's got great fire magic. I don't know how I'm gonna beat him." And he's just like, "Well, why don't you use an ice spell?" And he's like, "I don't know any." And then he beats him
Oh
by just
man.
making hotter fire.
Okay, all right. That's pretty funny. I'll give it to him.
He
That's
just
pretty funny.
Yeah, it was
All
never
right.
a series that took itself particularly seriously. Um, so yeah, what do we think? What
So,
do we think of this new version? I'm a
um
little disappointed because it isn't as grimy as I
I
think it
was
should
going to
be.
say just based on the how things sounds. And look, I know that they've got apparently a lot of episodes of this.
Hmm.
But this does feel if like it feels like a LaCroix of an evil anime.
Did they
You know what
maybe
I'm saying?
sand off the edges a little
They
bit?
sanded off a little bit of those edges. They're trying also it seems like this is trying to take itself kind of seriously. Uh or I feel like they should have gotten a little sillier with it. I
Maybe they should have
mean,
gotten a little sillier with
just a
it.
little sillier with it. Although, the point that you made, they're
Hmm.
not pretending to be something they're not. They know
Hmm.
they're making schlop for horny
Yeah,
individuals.
they're making schlop for pricks.
Yes,
Um,
they're not pretending that at least. So I'll give them credit for that. As for if I'd want to see more of this particular one, I don't think I do. I might be down to watch the OVA
you
though.
want to see the
I
OVA? I'm looking at
kind of
images of it, and it's got some like really peak '90s character
this,
design.
yeah. I think I would watch the OVA. I don't think I would watch more of this particular one.
I really like the equation. I think this is the equation, which is if you add Elric of Melonbon to Slayers, you get Dark Schneider. He's just like, I'm a prick. I got big black
Ah,
eyebrows and a white
eh,
mullet.
eh. I'm
I'm
gonna kill a bunch of guys, and then I'm gonna fuck that girl over there.
gonna fuck that girl over there, or
I'm
maybe
gonna,
I'll just comment
maybe
about
I'll
her
just,
ass until she becomes
yeah,
embarrassed and leaves.
yeah, grab some titties, yeah, woohoo! Good lord, fucking
Just
Jesus
real
Christ.
grimy shit.
Yeah, let's play some metal. Woo!
It really was Anthrax for the soundtrack. I can't
That's
stress that enough. Anthrax signed on to this, even if it was through an agent.
you know, I love that for them actually. I love that for you, bastard.
So yeah, if you've got a grimy anime that you have affection for reasons you can't understand, you can tell us you can tell us about that at oneepisodecast@gmail.com.
That is one word, not the number. Hey, maybe we'll even watch it. We also take listen, we could take suggestions. We are on Blue
That's a
Sky.
that
We are
suggestion
on
box
Twitter.
is getting a little empty.
It's looking dry in there. Come on. Send us some garbage. We need trash to live.
I always hate I always feel bad about just picking from my personal selection because I feel like I'm bogarting the picks.
No, no, don't feel like that. Listen, I have to feel personally, spiritually energized by a pick before I can bring it. Like it either has to like buffer my spirits, or it has to have an aura of menacing
It's just got to
energy
be
coming
real.
off
It's
of
got to
it.
be real rank, huh?
It's gotta really, and I have to really feel it out. I can't just go picking willy-nilly, so please, by all means, I do
I,
not
lo-
mind.
I love this grimy old OVA shit. Bring me the grimiest OVAs you can find.
We can watch this nasty thing together sometime. It'll be fine.